Hey guys, it's Jackie. This is Nikki,
Hey.
my Biff, aka Hobo. I've talked about her. She's been in like the Rock Pond videos. Yep.
The infamous lap dance.
Yep, the infamous lap dance. So we wanted to make a fun little vlog about our recent experience.
Yes.
So here it goes.
Backstory.
Oh yeah. So Nikki and I have been looking for an apartment together. We want to move in around January or February, and we're looking for roommates. So you found her on Craigslist, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we go to Starbucks to have like a cup of coffee with this girl and meet her. And we already knew beforehand, and first of all, disclaimer, I don't have anything against Christians, anything against anyone's religion, I don't care. It doesn't really have anything to do with her being Christian, it's just kind of added in there.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so we already knew that she was kind of conservative because she goes to church and she was homeschooled and she was raised by a Christian family. So I'm kind of thinking in my head, okay, well, we need to figure out how conservative she is, if she's going to be okay with me being gay and my advocating and stuff like that. So we meet her and she gives us a hug when she meets us and she's very friendly and very sweet. She was a very sweet girl. But we're talking about stuff, and first of all, she mentions the whole, well, what are you guys on drinking and drugs? And we were like, well, I mean, we drink, but, like, and we didn't really get too into it. I'm not going to mention other things, but we didn't get too into it.
Freudian slip.
Freudian slip, and we won't get into that. But she basically was like, well, I have a sip of wine every now and again, and one time I had champagne, and I was like, ooh, this is what it feels like to get drunk, and me and her are like, oh, Jesus.
Because, you know, we do a fair amount of drinking and partying.
Exactly.
Responsibly.
Yes. Sometimes. But
we won't go there.
We won't go there. But, like, we're young, we like to have fun, and we were like, okay, well, that's a little clash right there, because our friends are a little bit, we have a good time.
Shout out to Spiky.
Whoop.
Soka.
Danger Dyke. So we're talking to her, and then she's like, basically talking about, well, I like to have movie nights, and we were like, oh, sweet, so do we, because that's what we're doing tonight.
Yes.
Because we're old. But, so she's talking about, she's like, okay, well, I like to have my family over all the time, and, she has, like, these little brothers and sisters, which is cool, whatever, and we were like, oh, boy, though, like, having kids over all the time, like, we're stressing, we're still young. We'd like to still be able to have a good time. Not like, hey, people hanging from the rafters ruining our apartment, but have a fair amount of people over.
And also not have to worry about censoring ourselves because, you know, we definitely swear.
Oh, yeah, we need to put that in there. We heard her go, oh, my goodness, and we were like, oh, shit. Yeah. Nikki, like, I swear. You guys all know that. I swear. Whatever. I don't think it's a big deal. Unless you're, like, in public and trying to be civil and, you know,
when you're sitting next to a kid at breakfast dropping the F-bomb and you have to be repeatedly told not to do that.
That happened this morning. Not to me, but that happened this morning. It was a good time. So basically we're like already censoring ourselves and not really being ourselves. Like we're very chilled out people, yeah. But we were very like proper and it was just weird. So basically then we're talking about, well, what do we expect from her? And I threw in there, I was like, well, mutual respect. And she kind of looked at me, and I was like, between our different lifestyles, because we're all different people with different lifestyles and backgrounds, and we have and I obviously threw in there because I hadn't told her yet that I was gay, because I was kind of feeling it out if I should even bother, and said, we have a very colorful group of friends.
Yes.
And then, what did you say?
We're very open.
Yes, because a lot of our friends, we don't really have a filter, because we know each other so well that there doesn't need to be a filter there.
Yeah, we like live in a locker room.
Yeah, pretty much live in a locker room. And so she's like, oh yeah, that's fine, I'm very accepting. So then we kind of got into the conversation about how conservative she is, and she's like, no, I'm not super conservative. So I'm thinking, okay, well, if she says she's not super conservative, then maybe I can just tell her and she'll be cool with it. I have to find out.
And the fact that she was wanting to move out of her parents' home, that's typically not something that most Christians would do. Like, it's a very family-oriented.
At a young age. Because she's going to be 20.
Yeah.
And so I'm figuring, okay, well, maybe whatever. So I throw in there, because I'm very big on honesty in the first place. So I was like, well, I'm very big on honesty. I like people to be honest, upfront, tell me what they think. I don't like it when people aren't honest. So I look at her in a very serious face and say, I have to be honest with you.
Put your hands on the table.
And I, like, put my hands on the table. I was like, okay, because, like, I knew this was going to be a make it or break it.
Yep.
And I looked at her, and I was just like, I'm going to be honest. I am a lesbian. Oh, my God. This girl's eyes, this big. They got, like, she literally backed up and was like,
yeah.
And, like, the word that came out of her mouth was, oh. But what really was coming out underneath the O was Satan, Antichrist. Like, you could tell she was like, fuck, this was going so well.
Well, she wouldn't say fuck, but...
Yes. Yeah, you said screwed and you were like...
Yeah, I said sucked and I thought I was going to be, like, metaphorically castrated.
So basically, after, like, she looks at me and, like, I'm the kind of person, I'm very open about being gay. I'm not like, hey, running around with a pride flag talking about it 24/7. But I advocate for the community, like, I'm not shy about it, and 98% of my friends are gay. This is, like, one of my token straight friends.
I'm the token straight friend.
Pretty much. So, she looks at me, and she goes, well, I don't agree with that lifestyle, but I'll respect that.
I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah, she wasn't going to judge me. I was like, well, thank God for that.
Well, yeah, body language is saying different.
Right? Exactly, because, like, the minute I said lesbian, it was like, she was up here, and she's like, well, all of a sudden it was like,
take a step back, you're gonna catch the homo.
Yeah. So, and this is not a hit on Christians. This is just in general, like, an experience we had. Because not all Christians are like that. I know Christians who don't care.
Yes.
But, so, I was like,
she didn't, like, damn you or condemn you, which was, like...
which was, she wasn't, like, rude about it. You could just tell she was unsettled.
Some people will be rude like that.
And so, I'm just sitting there, and I can already tell this has gone downhill the minute I was honest about it. And... then she looks at me and she goes, the only problem I would have is I'm not okay with you having girls over or having sex with girls in my apartment.
Yeah, and then tried to, like, even it out to me. She's like, even morally, my personal moral beliefs are, like, guys shouldn't stay over, and I wouldn't be that comfortable with guys sleeping over, or, like, listening to you have sex with guys or have sex with girls. And
I looked at her and I was like, well, obviously, if the roommates are home, I'm not going to be having...
like, you know.
I was like, I'm not going to be having... I was trying to be delicate because I didn't want to be, like, wild, crazy sex because I thought she might fall over in her chair and have a heart attack.
Yeah.
But, like, I was like, we'd be respectful. It's mutual respect. And, but I could already tell in my head if I even pecked... Let's say I had a girl and I pecked her on the lips making dinner or something,
like,
she'd have a heart attack.
Do the Hail Mary.
Yeah. So it was already...
rude, I'm sorry. That was very rude.
Fine.
I was raised Baptist till I was 7.
So, basically, after this whole experience, she gets very, very quiet and kind of cold, starts really telling us about herself, and it gets more into what our behaviors would be in relationship-wise. That frickin' phone, man, you are popular.
I am.
She's popping.
Yeah.
But,
J. Crow.
It's J. Crow.
And Tina.
Oh, yeah. So, basically, oh my god, it's an 8-minute video already. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So, basically after that experience, like, it wraps up, and all of a sudden she's like, well, I have to go now.
Yeah, I gotta get going.
So we were like, oh yeah, so do we. So, the minute we walk outside, she basically ran away.
Walk away.
Like, didn't
bye,
hug us
bye.
Like, we get there, she gives us a hug. She's like, oh my god, hi, it's so nice to meet you. No. She was like, and then she let us know at the end of the conversation, now I want to be honest with you, I'm not going to make a decision yet. There's other possibilities. And we're like, yeah, don't worry, us too. Like, basically letting us know I'm not going to live with you.
Yeah. But the best part was the entire first part of the conversation till this one, you know, like...
Drop the bombshell. Because I had to be honest. I'm not going to lie.
Drop the D-bomb. She was kind of, like, talking as if we were definitely moving in together. And, like, oh, yeah, like, our place. And we can do this and we can do that. And then it became, like, oh, I am looking. I've been ready to move out. And she was kind of, like... hassling us about our time frame initially. But then she was like, well, I still have my options open.
Yeah, so... Just wanted to fill you in on that funny situation that just happened in our life.
Life is an adventure. Life is an adventure.
Life is definitely an adventure. So, I thought you guys would just enjoy that funny story. Not hating on anybody's religion, so please don't comment my video being like, rah, 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 because I don't want to hear it. I really don't.
If we said anything to offend anybody, pro-Christian, whatever, we apologize. It's not meant to be.
I have plenty of people of plenty of backgrounds, but we just thought this was hilarious. So, basically... I'm the Antichrist.